Every year, hundreds of millions of highlighter pens are made all over the world, showing just how popular they are. I know you've never imagined that one day you will be walking through the factory of those colorful highlighter pens. Neither that we would make it all possible, so stay right there for a few moments and you will see why you should thank us. Let's get straight to the point. You know your highlighter pens are made from a special plastic called polypropylene, and it's a prime choice for these colorful tools. You might wonder why polypropylene? Well, it's super durable. So, to kickstart the process, the entire mixture is injected into specially designed molds. These molds create the shapes of the barrel and cap of the highlighter. I know you're excited to see what happens next, because dude, that's the favorite part from our childhood. So the machines shape the reservoir to make the ink flow smoothly. Highlighter ink is a magical blend that brings color to our notes. It is made with a combination of fluorescent dyes, water, and a special solvent, usually glycol, which helps the ink flow smoothly. This careful process ensures that every pen produces the same brilliant color, making highlighting easy and fun. Once the nib is shaped and ready, it is attached directly to the reservoir, allowing the ink to flow smoothly from the container through the tip. It is usually made with porous material that absorbs ink quickly and dispenses evenly. Inside these highlighters factories, machines do most of the work, making sure everything runs smoothly. This reduces waste and makes sure each pen works the same way. This entire process of final assembling is all so beautiful and quick to spot in one go. With each stroke, the ink brings important information to life, helping students and professionals shine in their work. Okay, those tri-highlighters are a smart and affordable choice. You get multiple colors in one pack for a low price, making them perfect for students and professionals who need to use them on an almost daily basis. This automated process prepares hundreds or thousands of highlighters for assembly, making the production quick and efficient. Once ready, machines attach the nibs to the triangular bodies with precision, taking advantage of the flat sides for an easy, accurate fit. Over the years, highlighters have changed in design, color options, and functionality, but they remain essential tools and a huge point of attraction. But adults love highlighters too. Whether at work or studying, they use them to focus on important details in reports, documents, or textbooks. Especially these triangular highlighters, they work on all kinds of surfaces and last longer since the ink doesn't dry out easily, giving you more bang for your buck. If you can't stand the fragrance of fresh and sweet apples, then sorry bud, this video isn't for you. Because it's magical behind the scenes may enchant you to feel that fragrance right through the video. So, are we ready to get inside the mega factory of apple pie production? I think we are. Things are gonna get this beautiful if you stay with us. But first, let me ask, do you love the colorful blossom season, or are you more of an autumn lover? No, dude, it makes a huge difference. Making industrial apple pie is a lot more similar to home-baked apple pie. It all starts with the same thing, picking the right apples. These apple orchards are often located in regions known for their crisp, cool climates, which are ideal for apple growing, such as Washington State in the US, which produces about 60% of the country's apples. Farmers have got an eye for perfection. If you think they simply pluck whatever's hanging low, that's not true. The apples are plucked with just enough tender, loving care to avoid bruising. You all probably know, farmers use a combination of manual labor and advanced machinery to pick apples, while smaller orchards might rely on hand picking to ensure the delicate fruit isn't bruised. Larger operations often employ mechanical harvesters that gently shake the apples off the trees. These machines are designed to mimic the gentle tug of a human hand, which is extremely important to prevent damaging the fruit. Once picked, the apples are carefully stored. This might not involve intense strategy, but the padded baskets will do the most work here. Quality assurance is the top priority for any business to keep going successfully, isn't it? Trucks unload their daily apples, haul onto conveyor belts, and the apples are carried into the facility for their first round of inspection. It is all about ensuring quality and safety. Here's where, if not the magic, then careful sorting begins. These initial hygiene and some serious techniques are applied to make sure the fruit stays hydrated, while in the meantime, it loosens the dirt. The apples pass through high-tech scanners while staying in water that check for size, color, and external imperfections. You know, dipping the freshly harvested fruit stock in fresh water is a most used natural method to loosen the dirt while cooling down the fruits so their freshness is intact. Yeah, we're going to show you the next step just in a moment. Those apples have come straight from the water baths, so they must be dried completely before further processing. As soon as the apples are ready for their further touch-ups, let's see how they make the dough for apple pie crust. You know, we just don't want to miss anything out. As soon as the cream of the crop has been selected, they're off to the peeling station. Now, you might think peeling thousands of apples a day requires an army of, what do we say, grandmas with paring knives? No. Modern factories have a better trick up their sleeves. They use high-tech peeling machines that can expertly peel, core, and even slice apples in seconds. After the apples are peeled and looking pretty, they're sliced into perfect pieces. And what are the perfect pieces? The rightly sliced apples with the same thickness to maintain its crispiness in every bite. The prepared apple slices are tossed with spices and sugar in huge rotating drums, where they are cooked in massive rotating drums under precise steam pressure. Those drums are so powerful, they can process up to 5 tons of filling at once. Yeah, it's pure science. Factories use chilled ingredients, and I mean really cold. That's because cold fat creates steam pockets during baking, giving you that flaky texture we all love. So, the first rule of crust making? Keep it cold. Once the dough is mixed, it's time to roll it out. We're talking about enormous rollers that spread each portion dough into perfectly even sheets. These rollers are so precise, they can adjust the thickness of the dough down to a fraction of a millimeter and make the dough exactly of the pie shape. In short, just what we wanted to see. The prepared crusts glide down a conveyor belt toward filling stations, and the large dispensers scoop just the right amount of apple filling into each crust. The excessive dough isn't wasted, it is repurposed into mini pies or decorative lattice strips for fancy tops. You're gonna see that later in this video. This is the simplest and most traditional lid design, so that the simple machines can easily roll out large sheets of dough just like they do for the bottom crusts. But this time, the dough is cut into circles slightly larger than the pie pans. Why larger, if you ask? That's because the edges need to hang over slightly to seal with the bottom crust. Some factories have those complex setups for a quick spray of egg whites to the top crust, giving it that golden brown shine when it's baked. The best time has arrived. Tasting and rating the overall quality of the product. If it's par excellence, it'll be immediately cooled down and frozen for a better experience. For pies that need to stand out, factories often use cutouts. It can be either any specific pattern, holiday-themed design, or simple designs that are easy to make every time, same as this one. These are often made using dough presses with built-in molds. The machines punch out shapes and arrange them directly on the pie's surface. Apple pie comes in various designs and made with several techniques, so everyone with different taste buds can enjoy the go-to apple pies. In order to make the pocket-sized apple pie, which is not even messier as the saucy one, these people need to get ready the batch of chopped apples. They will be needing the bit-sized apples to fill in the crust, which will later be firmed upon baking, giving the real apple experience. Large-scale factories don't rely on human calculations for this. They use advanced sensors to monitor the weight of the filling added to each pie. If one pie gets a little too much or too little, it's flagged and adjusted to avoid inconsistency. It's all about maintaining that uniform quality you'd expect from a perfect apple pie. Apple blossom pies are one of the best sweets I have ever discovered. Their size makes them approachable. You don't need a knife and fork, just your hands and a napkin. And because they're baked in smaller portions, they often have that caramelized edge where the crust meets the filling, adding a slight chewiness that's pure joy. They take everything we love about apple pie, the flaky crust, the warm spices, the juicy fruit, and wrap it up in a cute, portable bundle of deliciousness. So, yeah, they're doing so much great work just to make us feel special and fulfill our sweet cravings. My goodness! It was so hard to find the resources and get inside the factory of dairy milk, but today I'm so happy that I finally did it. Yeah, I'm gonna share it all with you. You excited? Why wouldn't you? It's your favorite chocolate bar after all. From biting directly into the chocolate bar to pouring it in several desserts, it's been the topmost choice of sweet freaks and expert chefs. Inside these pods are the beans, but at this point, they don't taste or smell anything like the chocolate you know. Did you know Cadbury Dairy Milk's cocoa mainly comes from West Africa, especially Ivory Coast and Ghana? Why these regions? It's all about the perfect climate, warm, humid, and with just the right amount of rain to grow best quality cocoa. And these countries have these conditions that make it ideal for growing high-quality cocoa beans. Whoa! Look at that beauty, though. When it's time for automated milking, they trick these cows with their daily dose of entertainment, like roaming and feeding right from the heart of lush green pastures. Now the machines work in a smooth, gentle way that keeps the cows comfortable while collecting the milk. The collected milk is then pumped into storage tanks, where it stays fresh and untouched until it reaches the dedicated factories. Cadbury Dairy Milk uses both sugarcane and sugar beet as sources of sugar in its products. So, the choice between these two sources is often influenced by regional availability, environmental factors, and cost considerations. Around 80% of sugar production comes from sugarcane, which thrives in tropical climates, while the remaining 20% comes from sugar beets, cultivated in cooler regions. While sugarcane tends to caramelize better and offers a slightly fruity aroma, sugar beet can have an earthy note. And the blend of both the sugar forms gives that ultimate sweetness and aroma we all experience in dairy milk chocolate. It's amazing to see how raw ingredients turn into creamy, rich chocolate when the chocolate mass is placed in a special machine that gently heats and stirs it for hours. Why so long? Because this heating melts leftover cocoa solids and sugar crystals, while the constant stirring makes the mixture smoother and finer. When these experts will give a heads up, the chocolate would be loaded into the hoppers to get into shape. The liquid chocolate is poured into molds shaped like bars here. But how do they get it right every time? It's because these machines fill each mold precisely and controls every movements from tapping to cooling down to make sure you get the perfect bar every time. It's amazing how much care goes into every bite. The moment these chocolate bars got cooled down, They're bit rubbed to get the perfectly aligned bars. Dairy milk is not just a normal chocolate bar, it's a shared experience that has traveled across continents. You know, in Australia, most people crave the locally inspired twists that enhance the classic taste. From birthday parties to quiet evenings, Cadbury always finds its way into small and big moments alike.
I'm sure you're just as curious as I am about how those ready meals we pick up at the store are made in factories. Yes, these massive factories buzz with non-stop energy, churning out thousands of meals in mere minutes. It all kicks off with pots filled with just the right amount of top-notch rice. As the water gets added, the pots are sealed up tight, letting the rice soak up the moisture and settle perfectly. Once it's the right time for cooking, the machines gently but firmly hold those pots, turn them upside down to drain off the water using sieves. Now the fresh water is being added in these pots to cook the rice up to perfect temperature and consistency. A robotic arm snaps the steamer's lid into place, and then these steam cookers roll out, getting seals attached to each pot as they go. Precise temperatures keep things from going messed up, avoiding any overcooking or undercooking, of course. When the rice is perfectly cooked, robotic arms step in again. They carefully transfer the pots onto rolling iron rods that guide them along the conveyor belt. It's all automated here, with no human hands involved in the cooking process. That is pretty cool, right? Rice is cooked and all set to pour into the trays, so let them fill the hopper first. After rice, crispy chicken pieces are added into the trays to complete the meal box, along with pouring the sauces. Hey, it's not just one sort of meal boxes are being prepped. You will see the meal boxes filled with veggies and irresistible gravy. Boxes are filled, so before sealing the meal boxes, they are going to freeze these trays so they will remain fresh, flavorful, and preserved until you hit the store shelf and grab your favorite meal tray. As these trays glide along the conveyor belt to the sealing station, who wants to deal with anything less than 100% hygienic? That's why this sealing station is spotless, with super strict cleaning routines to keep every seal perfect and free from any contaminants. Now these meal trays are all decked out in their perfect wrap and sealed tight, of course. After sealing, the trays roll over to the labeling station, where they get tagged with all the key details like brand name, ingredients, and expiry dates. Once these boxes are packed to perfection, this last stop ensures each box is tightly sealed and ready to roll out. I am sure that my fitness enthusiasts are eager to witness how their daily salad trays are crafted in factories. Pile on a generous serving of fresh green veggies, keeping everything perfectly separated. so tender grilled meat slices are added too. That will take the game to the next level. And since healthy eats can't skip eggs, they're added too. These machines portion out spaghettis into these trays, giving each one just the perfect quantity. Then, the trays cruise down the conveyor belt to the sauce station. Here, machines drizzle a rich tomato-based sauce all over spaghetti, making sure each tray gets a big splash. Once the ripe and plump tomatoes are mechanically picked from those fresh fields at their peak ripeness, ensuring they're bursting with flavor, they are sent to the dedicated factories. These tomatoes have been harvested employing advanced agricultural techniques, making them ideal for ketchup production. Each tomato undergoes careful selection, guaranteeing that only the finest specimens make their way to the processing facility. Any tomatoes that show signs of damage, spoilage, or imperfections are promptly discarded. Following inspection, the tomatoes are thoroughly washed using safe equipment and gentle cleansing agents. You can see the water is getting grayish-brown, meaning there was so much dirt on those tomatoes, so the dual washing system helped a lot. Once the tomatoes are washed, they will be sent to the inner stations where the tomato ketchup would be made from scratch. Here again, they will go through a thorough manual inspection. Now comes the first important step: boiling. Those huge steam boilers are getting ready so they could give that royal treatment to every tomato in the best possible way. This heating step serves multiple purposes. It helps to soften the tomatoes, making it easier to remove their skins, and it also serves as a crucial sanitation step, eliminating any harmful bacteria or microorganisms present on the tomato surfaces. After that, the tomatoes are subjected to pressurized water jets. These powerful jets of water are strategically directed at the tomatoes, effectively loosening their skins without damaging the delicate flesh underneath. And now comes the drum rollers, where the tomatoes move through this specialized machinery that gently coax the softened skins away from the tender flesh of the tomatoes, ensuring a smooth and efficient skin removal process. Despite advanced automation, manual inspection remains an important step in the ketchup production process. Trained inspectors examine the peeled tomatoes and look for irregularities that may have been missed by automated systems. The peeled and inspected tomatoes are then transformed into a smooth, uniform puree through a series of huge mixer machines. Now they are going to preserve that puree for some time. This involves carefully controlling factors such as temperature, acidity, and oxygen levels to create an optimal environment for flavor development. Before proceeding further, the puree is tested once again to ensure that it has reached the desired level of ripeness and flavor development. Once approved, it is carefully transferred to large mixing tanks. If you're enjoying this video, let us know by clicking that glowing like button. In these tanks, the puree will be loaded directly into the mixing tanks through pipes. Combined with a careful blend of spices, oils, and other secret ingredients, each is chosen to impart the signature flavor profile of the ketchup. The puree and seasonings are mixed together thoroughly, ensuring that the flavors are evenly distributed and harmonized to perfection. Each ingredient is selected for its unique contribution to the flavor profile of the ketchup, with careful consideration given to factors such as spiciness and that deliciously distinctive Heinz taste. As they need to handle more than one ketchup brand, so just let them fill these bottles before we move towards Heinz. You know, the good always comes after a lot of patience. Anyway, I'll make sure it's not that lot. That is super satisfying to watch these clear bottles getting filled with the delicious and creamy ketchup we almost eat with every fried item. Say, fries, nuggets, pizza, anything. Ketchup is a must. Honestly, I think pizza and ketchup have been the worst combo ever. As these bottles are ready, let me show you how Heinz ketchup bottles got filled. As the ketchup has been prepared, it is pumped into clean bottles using precision equipment. This filling process is carefully controlled to ensure that each bottle receives the correct amount of ketchup with minimal waste or spillage. The cooled bottles of ketchup are then labeled with branding and nutritional information before being packed into cases for distribution. Your favorite ketchup bottles are ready to safely and securely reach you. You might have heard from almost everywhere that McDonald's French fries are known for forever fresh fries. Not forever, but yes, that's true. They stay fresh for a longer time. First, they do not use any potatoes but a rare kind of potatoes. One of the key steps in preparing McDonald's French fries is blanching. During blanching, the potato slices are briefly immersed in hot water or steam to partially cook them. This helps to seal in the natural flavors and sugars of the potatoes. Sprite is known for its refreshing lemon-lime flavor. Just cut it off. Everybody knows that. You do know that Sprite is caffeine-free, making it a popular choice for those looking to avoid caffeine or limit their intake. This makes it suitable for consumption at any time of day, without the risk of caffeine-related side effects. If it doesn't have caffeine, why do I crave it again and again? Okay, let me tell you, they are going to do like unlimited layers of cream and chocolate treats, so get prepared. But I wonder if any of my audience have ever tried it. I never did, but I really want to try. Can somebody tell me if they have tried this delight and how it turned out? That melted chocolate is something irresistible, and I am pretty sure it's going to be the most creamy and rich delight those natives will ever find. Yeah, here's another layer of fluffy cream to give you double treats or a bomb of sweetness that explodes in your mouth in every single bite. It's ready to hit your nearby grocery stores. Go and find it. It's waiting for you there. That's a wrap for today. But our flavorful journey isn't over yet. If you want to watch more videos like these, you can find us here.